BowmanDigitalMedia.com. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode. It's Monday already, Marketing Mondays with Ira Bowman. I'm excited today. I have my guest joining, Jeff Long. Jeff is coming to us from Ohio. Welcome, Jeff.
Thanks so much, Ira. I really appreciate having me on.
I'm excited to have you on, bro. You do a lot with videos, and so do I, and I love it because video can intimidate people, although they know they need it. So we're gonna do some deep dives, if you don't mind. I think
Awesome.
You're excited about this too. We're gonna get into the video stuff in your company, True Focus Media. Gonna actually, in a minute after we do an intro with you, we're gonna introduce your company, and I'm gonna pull up the website. So, like, I'll drive, but you can tell me where to go, and we'll get the links for everything. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. So I'm going to post these links on all these platforms, guys, so that you can click over to Jeff Long, not only his profile on LinkedIn, and send him a connection request. Let him know you saw him on this show, and promise me now, and put this in the comment, you're not going to spam Jeff if he connects with you, okay? So those two things. Tell him you saw him on my show. I promise I won't spam you, and then he'll hit that accept button, I think. All right, so we're going to get into a lot. What is this show? For those of you who have never seen it, it's really simple. Marketing confuses people. They think it's sales. They think it's advertising. They don't understand what branding is. So in their minds, they just really don't understand. And there's a lot to marketing, as Jeff and I, I'm sure, will get into. I do it every week with my guests. We get into specific parts of marketing, and that can confuse people even more. We're trying to like demystify what is marketing, how you can understand it better, and then maybe apply some of the tips and the tricks that we teach week in and week out about the specific areas. Like, so today we're going to focus on video marketing so that you can be better overall, and it's free for you. You come every week, you learn something new, and I get to expose you to people that I like and I respect. Look, if you haven't noticed already, I only bring in high caliber guests, no freshers, and nothing against freshers. We need freshers, right? Freshers, what is that? Those people who just graduated college, but they don't have any experience yet. So I don't bring them in. We're bringing in seasoned vets who, if you hire them, they will do a phenomenal job for you, right? So just consider me bringing them on my show as a ringing endorsement, because that's how I mean it. So all that being said, Jeff, for those of you who don't know you, please, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever you like, introduce yourself. Give us how do you get into marketing and all that stuff.
Yeah, so I'm going to do what I tell my clients not to do, only because you kind of asked me in a unique way, meaning, I usually say, don't start with like how long you've been in business or that, but I'm going to do that.
Right. That's what we want to know here.
Because you just said, we don't want, kind of the newbies in here. So
right.
I started my company in 2003.
Boom.
And I started with two actually friends of mine. And it was this really cool kind of, you could call it a God moment that put us together. And so we started primarily as a video marketing company. And this was before YouTube, before, so many other platforms made video and marketing and websites easy. So, we'd make these videos and our clients would say, hey guys, can you put this on our website?
Right.
And at the time we couldn't, partly because, we didn't know Flash or Dreamweaver or, you name it, the old school things there. And so, but as entrepreneurs, if you hear the same question over and over, you're like, wait a second, should we?
You just gave me shivers as you said Flash. I remember that.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. So we kind of added that web design component to our company. So kind of our 1-2 punch is video marketing and website design, optimization, customization, and all that.
Yep.
And that has been amazing.
They do go hand in hand, by the way. I mean,
exactly. Yeah. So, I've had the opportunity to go overseas, do some really cool video projects, obviously here in the States.
Coolest place you've been?
With video?
Yeah.
I met my wife in Africa doing some video work.
That's pretty cool.
So there's
we were talking in the green room about, okay, guys, I do five different shows. I have one, in fact, it's actually my largest audience other than this one. So it's the second rated show that I've got. It's called 8 is Enough. It's Friday nights. And I was talking to Jeff about having him and his wife come on. Bro, you got to tell that story on that show. You met her in Africa.
Yeah. I mean, so that's what we always tell people, which is 100% true.
I met my wife in a bar.
Well, so we both go to the same church. It was a huge church.
There you go.
We felt called to go on this missions trip. Didn't know each other from, you could say, Adam and Eve, right? And so we go on the missions trip. It wasn't exactly love at first sight. She forgot my name. Like she called me the wrong person the whole time.
We have more in common than you keep talking. We have lots in common. My wife's giving me the death eye, by the way. My wife's sitting over there off camera. And she's like, you gonna tell that story? Yeah. At the end of the night, she's putting my phone number in her phone and she didn't know my name.
She's like, that guy.
She asked, what's your name again?
No, I didn't.
Did you say how do you spell it?
How do you spell it?
Yeah, she asked me how to spell my name. That was her
clever
way of asking. Yeah.
That's clever.
IRA. And then she goes, oh, I mean your last name.
Right.
WMAN. It's not hard.
Yeah, but you got to somehow sneak that in there, right?
Oh, she did, and I didn't figure it out till later.
That's awesome. But yeah, so I was doing some video work as part of what I was there in Africa doing, and she was doing some other stuff, and so we kind of got to know each other just as friends, and the rest is history.
So were you there with the same group?
Same group.
Okay, so she's not from Africa.
No.
But still getting out of your regular environment and going somewhere else.
Yeah.
You're serving the Lord. I'm actually I'm on ministry team now too.
Yeah.
I wasn't back then, but I am now. So awesome. I wouldn't have met my wife at a bar if we were doing this today. It is kind of funny. Like you're at church and you're telling, and they always ask, like, well, yeah, because we've been married. We're going 21 years in June.
Nice.
And and so we go like, okay, and you got 8 kids. That's awesome. Like, how did you meet? We met at a bar. It's so embarrassing. It's like you got all these people in suits and they're there to worship the Lord, and yeah, our Genesis story starts at a bar. Anyways.
Right. It takes all kinds, right?
Right. But your story, we met in Africa. That is super cool.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, some people are like, so is she African? Is she? I'm like, no, we were both, same church here in Ohio, just didn't know each other. And it's like one of those questions that gets people asking.
Oh, no, 100%. Kind of my goal. It's interesting for sure. So we'll tell that story. We'll let your wife tell the story.
Yeah.
Because you already said she didn't really like you at first, which
she kept calling me the wrong name.
My wife thought I was going to be good for a couple laughs. We were laughing about that last night.
Laughing at you or with you?
I said, joke's on you, sucker.
Right.
I said that verbatim, just like that. So that's how I talk to my wife. There you go.
Nice.
All right. So coolest place you've done a video is Africa. Well, I don't know, but that story's cool. All right. So you've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
And you started your business in 2003. So it's been around, that's going on 18 years, man.
Yeah. Yep.
So you don't look that old. Were you like 19 when you started your business?
I mean, I was out of college, 1 year type of thing.
Oh, you're 24-ish?
So about that. Yeah. About 24. Flip that actually. But yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I was looking, okay, I'm going to pull up your website. I'm probably jumping the gun a little bit, but I was looking at your website. Like, I love what you got going on, bro. That's why you're on the show. So hang on a second. I got to share it on my screen. I'm super professional. I tell people what I'm doing as I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh, it was doing this to me yesterday. Hang on a second. I don't know what's going on. It's still doing that. I use a program called StreamYard, and every once in a while, it does pretty good, but every once in a while, it has a flip out. There we go. Oops. There we go. Okay. So that wasn't your website. That was mine.
No, it's familiar. Okay.
Yeah. So this is your site here, and I was looking at. I just went straight to clients include. Look at these names, everybody. Now, if you don't know Kroger, that's a huge grocery store chain, right? Yeah. Airgas. You don't know them? They're a huge manufacturer of gas, right?
Yeah.
Propane and all kinds of different gas. I mean, this is some major clients.
Yeah.
So that's impressive. If I didn't know anything else about your business, I go, like, you're not working with all these big businesses because you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
So,
yeah, I've been really honored and blessed, to work with some, reputable big brands, big names, but also, just some really down to earth companies where the people are just awesome. They're making good products, they're serving their communities and their customers, and it's been an honor. It really has.
We'll come back to the website page in a minute. I was excited to show that because that helps establish the authority in the room, right? Like, people could say what they want. Oh, I'm the world's best, blah, blah, blah. Although I find usually when they say any of those type of hyperboles, usually they're not. They're in way over their head. Because I'd rather let you figure out that I'm good at what I'm doing than brag about myself. But you don't need to brag about yourself either. I've already seen it. So, like, I like to set that tone so people know when you say something, Jeff, that they should actually put some weight to it. Because there's too much misinformation out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's easy to start, a YouTube channel or Instagram or anything and, make it look like you're a big deal. And to me, I like people that are doers more than talkers, and so just like with, we primarily work with manufacturing companies, industrial companies, like that's what I love. Like they're real people, they're getting it done, they're making the stuff and they're not trying to make it look any different than what they are,
Yeah, they want to show you what they're actually doing.
Right.
So let's talk about that. So I'm sorry, I want to make sure I do this right. And I have dyslexia, so I mess up stuff. So True Focus Media is the name of the company. I've already just said that you specialize with the manufacturing space, and I know already, right, from how we met via Kurt Anderson and all that stuff.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So Kurt Anderson, by the way, is like one of the best people on LinkedIn. If you're not.
Definitely.
And he's a fellow believer too. So there's a lot of us that, I respect that. So you said a God moment. I call them divine appointments. I'm sure you've heard that term too.
Yep.
So meeting Kurt has been a blessing for me in a lot of ways. Anyways, for manufacturers or other companies, people who work at other companies are watching, tell them a little bit more like who you work with. Like who makes a great client for you? What are they struggling with? Maybe we'll say it that way because people don't always know they need your help. Right. But if you can give them the pain points, go like, are you blank, 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 and then they go, oh, that's me. I need to talk to Jeff. So maybe that'll help you.
Yeah. So typically it's a medium size, company on up. They typically.
What do you mean by medium? Because some people say medium is 10 million, and some people say medium is like $1 billion. Right. Like I was looking at the definition of SME. So small, medium enterprise goes from 100 million to $1 billion.
Yeah.
That's not a medium company, but
Right. I know. Isn't that hilarious? It's like,
it's kind of crazy.
okay, like small
Right,
business.
like you think about Google or Coke, those are enterprise, right? So
Right.
that's, I guess that's why they consider the 1 billion in revenue medium
Right.
size. And I'm like, yeah, medium to me. Like
Well,
I
it's
see
like,
it in such a different. Like you would be like I would be the warm up act, and there probably would be a company between me. Like at Bowman Digital Media, we deal with like bootstrapping entrepreneurs or people who have a staff of like 3 to 10 people.
right.
Where you're dealing with people that could have thousands of employees.
Right.
So there's
Yeah.
typically between True Focus Media, I got to get this right. True Focus Media and Bowman Digital Media, there's probably 1 or 2 companies in between us, right? And I actually focus more on service-based companies than I do on manufacturing space. So, that's one of the things people go, Ira, why do you bring in all your competitors? I'm like, they're not my competitors. Not at all. Just because we breathe some of the same air doesn't mean we're competition.
Well, and there's so much to go around. I mean, I'm in Ohio, you're it's like,
yeah.
You have expertises that I don't, and vice versa. It's like, are you kidding me? Like,
but you're about to say the things for these manufacturers and their pain points. I'm not the right person to address this stuff in most cases. Like, I would be that guy way out of my element. I mean, could I probably fake a few people out? Yeah, but I probably wouldn't get any referrals from them. I probably would fail, and then I'm going to ruin my reputation. Like, I'm smart enough not to take the business that doesn't fit me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and I think that comes with maturity, right? It's like you kind of know what you're good at.
Yeah.
So the clients that are way up here, way down there aren't the sweet spot.
Right. And the value prop. What's the value prop to them? What are you going to deliver to them? Right.
Right. 100%. Yeah. So typically the companies I work with have a marketing team. So a lot of times it's 3 or more people in their marketing division. And so a lot of times it's
pain points, right? So they're having trouble with video of some kind. Maybe they don't know how to shoot it.
Or they're just overloaded. Maybe they have, dozens of product lines. They're all trying to like market and promote and this and that. And it's like, I can come in and on the video side be like, okay, here are 20 different ways we can use video to market, promote, teach, train, sell. There's different ways. I'm always trying to find, how can we increase revenue, obviously.
Yeah.
But also, how could we like decrease the time or expenses that your internal company has or with your customers? So like e-learning videos, I think are a tremendous opportunity for ROI and not used as much as they could be.
I had to pull this up, right? So y'all, if you're watching, this is one of the things I definitely wanted to get to today. So you can hire True Focus Media to create videos and to build your website out or fix your website if your website is not where it needs to be. But you can also take these training courses and kind of like you said it. You're working with people that already have a team, and it's not just one person. Like I deal with companies, usually there's nobody, or maybe there's one person, and they might be good at traditional marketing, but not digital marketing. They might not be good at SEM or social media management. And so, I deal with usually that type of company. You're dealing with people that's sweet, but maybe they do the old way and they don't know the new way, or they want to bring down the price point. Like, how do we do this in a more simplified way? Like I used to call it print quality graphics in the print space. And that's where I come from, the world of print.
Nice. Where
people were doing like these elaborate designs. They're used to like graphic artists, hundreds of hours, even 1,000 hours on a project. But then they would ask me like, well, what resolution do you need? I'm like, well, what are we doing this on? Because they were a side of a building from an optimal viewing distance of, let's say, a quarter mile. I can use, this is going to make some people fall over here, but I can use a file that's like 100 DPI. You go, what? 100 DPI? I would never print that. Right. I'm like, trust me, when you're looking from a quarter a mile away, 100 DPI is overkill. I actually could print that thing at 20 DPI and you probably couldn't tell the difference.
Wow.
Because your eye filling in the gap from such a far distance. But I said, like if we're doing fancy brochures and you're going to be looking at it from a foot, then we probably would want like 300 DPI, maybe 600 DPI. But these guys are they're doing files with billions of millions, if not billions of megapixels, and it's like, I don't really need all that, man.
Right.
So
Right.
simplifying the process in that case, print ready graphics, you got to know what you're printing for, but also like you don't necessarily like good enough in a lot of cases in the print world is good enough. Like your eye's not going to be able to tell anymore. You could go into as much detail as you want, but if your eye can't distinguish the difference, then you're wasting your time. And I'm sure you've got examples like that. So that's kind of what I mean with by pain points. You know, it could be anything, and you tell me. I don't know. I mean, you know your business more than I do.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned something several minutes ago now. Like, I think most people know the value or importance of video.
Yeah.
But yet most companies, big or small, to me aren't leveraging the power of it. So it's been rattling around in my brain of like, I mean, I kind of know some of the reasons why, but you know, obviously it takes work. Most people don't like being on camera. You know, it's kind of a skill you have to work up to.
Right.
But I just think there's tremendous opportunities because kind of like this, like once we record this, you know, you're going to put it all over and it's going to be a 24/7 machine, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, because I sent you some samples to watch, like, so it'll live on Bowman Digital Media.
Yep.
It's going to be on YouTube. It's going to be on Facebook. It's going to be on LinkedIn, of course. Then also, I actually transcribe it, turn it into a blog, and I put it up on audio form. I put it up on Anchor and Spotify.
Yeah.
So people can consume this in a bunch of different ways. But you know, and I know, there's going to be cut-ups.
Right.
We're going to put cut-ups on TikTok. We're going to put cut-ups on Reels, on, you know, Instagram, and all over the place. That's going to help drive people to me and to you 100%.
Right.
To that point, how are your, because my customers, the ones I deal with, they don't have a clue what I just said. Cut up. What do you mean? Like, for you to take this long form video and break it up and use it different ways. So how are your clients, like, is that a pain point for them? TikTok, they don't know how to use TikTok, which honestly, that's something I still struggle with personally. But TikTok, Instagram, YouTube have these short form videos. It seems like they're competing with each other, which they are, right? For eyeballs and attention. But is that something that your clients would struggle with, or is they already have somebody that?
No, I'd say the struggle is real, right? You know, it's half of the struggle is just getting video content up, and then you know, we help them with like
up on their website or up on YouTube.
Up on everything, right? It's where are their customers? Where is their ideal customer?
Yeah,
focused on that because
that's a struggle in itself, isn't it?
It is.
What's the profile of your perfect customer? And I ask them that, and they go like, "What do you?"
Right. It's everybody, you know, that uses the toilet, or you know, it's like
all 740 million people on LinkedIn. No, it's not.
Right. So really, yeah, it's determining who their ideal customer is, where they naturally go. So, you know, typically it's, you know, YouTube, LinkedIn, some things like that. But we also do look at, you know, TikTok and some other places. I think in the manufacturing space, that's just naturally going to be a slower progression. But you can make cases, you know, on either side. I think obviously as millennials become more prevalent in the workforce, which they already are, but more and more, then some of those things will be no-brainers versus right now. And it's kind of like the decision makers are like, so what's a TikTok? You know?
Right. They don't know.
Yeah. 100%. So in a few years, it'll be, you know, it'll be where, you know, Facebook and whatever is like people just know.
I think so. I don't think TikTok's going away. I just put up there for the target, right? As a first pro tip, I like to highlight the tips.
Cool.
So that actually will make that'll make a cut up. Right. So your first tip, really, that I'm trying to give people actionable tips that they can take away.
Yeah.
So the first one, you have, and this is a foundational thing, guys, to be successful in business and to not just, you want to be able to duplicate. So some people will tell you it's better to be lucky than good. I say hogwash. It's better to be good than lucky all day, every day. Why? Because you want to be able to duplicate things. Like one of the things that I do, one of my specialties is I help build business pages on LinkedIn and grow their audience. And I've done this over 20 times now. I've taken companies with like no following at all, and I've gotten them thousands, if not tens of thousands of followers. And there's advantages to that. But if I only did it one time and I couldn't do it a second time, there's no commercial value there, right? You have to be able to replicate. So in this marketing foundational piece. If you're not identifying your target audience, strategies that we would create would be mostly just guessing, not educated guessing. And marketing really is educated guessing, guys. That's what it basically boils down to. We study historical data, and then we propose a hypothesis based on that should work. And then we analyze, once you roll out the campaign, how it performed, and then we tweak it and we go again. And that's our life, right? But if you don't know who your target customer is, you can't know then where they're hanging out. And you don't know, maybe short form TikToks is a more effective strategy, right? But if you're not identifying that critical piece of information, you don't even know where to invest your time and your energy.
Right.
So I want to make sure people understand that. We've hit on that a little bit in other episodes, but I don't know that I've made it crystal clear. Just want to bring that one forward and put your name on it, because I think that's...
And it takes work. It takes work to know who your ideal customers are. Yeah. It's easy to be like, well, everybody that uses this, or, it's like, well, okay, but not really. Like, let's go more refined. And,
if you don't mind, let's pretend that I'm your customer for the moment.
Yeah.
And you're this is a consultation and we're having a conversation. Okay, what do we do to identify the target? Like if we're stuck there, because I have a feeling a lot of people are. How do we go about it?
So a lot of times I do the whole 80-20 principle, right? So what are the 20% of your customers that's making the 80% of the revenue? Or you could just say, hey, what's your top 10%? It doesn't matter. But so focus on that. We'll just say top 10% to make things easier. What's that top 10% that's bringing in the most revenue, or the easiest to work with, or that needs your product the most, or, so focus on that.
So you want to ask that question, and then what do you do?
So once I get that, then so since most of my clients are, B2B, it's okay, what departments are looking for that solution, right? Okay. Is it executives? Is it engineers? Is it managers, sub-managers, shop floor people? Who is that decision person?
When they're looking at the 20%, are they looking at the type of work, or are they looking at the type of business?
So that
it could be both, I guess, right? But I'm just, I'm being a little facetious here, only because I'm playing the role of the person who doesn't know, who's like frustrated because they went to school for engineering, Jeff. They didn't go to school for marketing. They don't get. They're like, we're speaking Greek right now. I want to translate for them.
Yeah, I look for the path of least resistance. So it's like, okay, let's take your top, 10%. Maybe it's like the easiest products to produce is your top 10%. Could we start there? Or is it your bread and butter products? Or is it a new product line you're looking to exploit and leverage? So obviously not a one size fits all. It's a lot of questions.
You're dealing with people primarily that have this already kind of honed in, because
for the most part,
they've got 3 or more people in their marketing team. They probably have somebody who knows how to identify.
You'd be surprised. I have worked with some gigantic companies, and it's like, I ask you.
We've always done it this way. That's why we do it. We've always done it that way.
Exactly. Or Bob over there, he's our sales and marketing guy from the past 50 years, and he, it's like, so there's a lot of big companies, reputable companies that haven't nailed this down.
Yeah.
And so
that's why I wanted to kind of hover on it. I know that's not what you're necessarily here to talk about, but
sure.
Marketing is one of those things where people miss from the beginning, because they've kind of just jumped in somewhere in the middle.
Right.
But then their strategies, you can tell they're weak. They're on shaky ground. So it's like a person who's memorized the Bible but doesn't understand the point of it.
Right.
There's a heart to this. It's not a legal document. There's a heart.
Right.
You got to understand both. So you're working with people. They have headaches. One of the main headaches that you're seeing with your prospects before they become clients, what's a major headache?
I mean, typically people call, email, whatever, contact me for, sales and marketing and sales stuff. So they think, hey, we just need to sell this widget.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I back up, and it's like, okay, we might create, video content to sell a product, or a web page or a landing page, whatever. But like, there's so much more content that can be created from, maybe that person doesn't even know your company exists.
Right.
all the way through a happy customer, you know, and
Kurt Anderson's Stop Being a Best Kept Secret.
Exactly. Which
you got it right there.
I probably do. Let's see. Here we go.
I gotta admit to you that I still don't have that book. He's gonna kill me. He's gonna kill me when he hears that. But I gotta get the book. Yeah.
It's a good book. It really is.
I'm sitting on a book I'm excited about. I don't know if you've seen this one. This is the book that's on my desk right now. It's called Zero to Podcast. Holly Shannon. I actually met her on TikTok. I'm not TikTok, on Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, yeah.
And so we became friends there, and then I connected with her on LinkedIn. We had a meeting, and anyways, she's like, you know, I got this book. I'm like, I know, I just ordered it. So then I figured, well, I better read it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's on my to-do list because I want to be better at this part. This is not my natural world. So anyways, all right. So their headaches are, they think they would just want to increase some efficiencies on sales and marketing, and you need to back them up a little bit. That's one of the solutions is, hey, let's look at your overall strategy.
Right. Or it's like, hey, we need a sales video. And it's like, well, that can mean a lot of things, but are people searching for a sales video? I don't think they are. They're searching for, I have a problem. How do I fix it? Right.
Yeah.
And so that's where it's more educational based marketing than your typical marketing and sales. Like, look at us. Aren't we great? Great products, great service. We've been around thousands of years, you know, stuff that people don't care about.
It's funny you mentioned that, because remember I said I've built these business pages on LinkedIn and I've helped them increase their followers tremendously. If you're watching, one of the ways that I do it is really simple. We get out of the talking about us. We start talking about you, and then not generically, we describe your headaches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I am 100% with you on these videos, need to not be speeds and feeds or spec sheets.
Right.
They need to be about, do you relate to this problem? You do. Right. And that's what we're here for. We help. We're the aspirin to your headache.
Right. When
you do that in a video or on your business social media pages, people respond to that.
Well, and it's a win-win, right? Like, no offense, but I don't really care how long, you know, whatever company's been in business. Everyone says we've got great products, great people, great service. So it means nothing, you know, like we're all selfish.
It's just hot air.
Our friend Allison DeFord, you know, says, does your marketing have too much wee in it? Right? 100%. We are great, aren't we? Our products.
Weeing all over your website. I love Allison. Allison DeFord, she's been on this show. I love her.
That was one of the shows.
And she's not that far from me. Like when this COVID thing is over, we have plans to make a video.
Nice. Yeah. So a lot of it's like that educational type content, you know? And so I have a whole list. I think it's probably over 50 different types of content that can be created. And, you know, so FAQ videos, let's talk about that.
That's a great point. Let me hit the pause button. So you may not know this, I'm a professional photographer.
Nice. Yep.
And one of the things that we do is we have shot selections. So before we go on set or before we go out in the field and we're going to do these photographs with our clients, we already know what gear to bring and what we're going to do. We have it's basically scheduled out. We're going to do these. We're going to do this shot in this sequence, and then we're going to move to the next scene, and we're going to do these shots in the sequence. And that helps us prepare, but also it helps inspire creativity when somebody's like, I don't know what I want.
Right.
So I love what you just said, and I've actually never thought about it this way. I just had an aha moment. So this is why I like talking to smart people. You could do the same thing with the videos. What a great point, Jeff. And you could even go back in the history, like if you're watching this and you can't afford the help of, True Focus Media or Bowman Digital Media, you go back and look at your own inventory and go, hey, I've done some of these videos in the past on other projects that were highly successful. Let me try to recreate that spark.
Right.
That's cool. So you've got 50 of them, you said. That's pretty good.
At least. I'd have to go look at the list. It's probably more than that by now. But yeah.
I'll bet you that would make a heck of a post if you want to,
Well, yeah, it's interested in that. It's on my website as a lead magnet type of thing. I don't think it's on the page. It might be. I'm trying to think where that is these days.
Well, I got your website up. So That's not e-learning and training. That's probably video marketing. Yeah.
Yeah. If I still have, I mean, I know it's on a page. I just, like I
Well,
said,
if you find it here, what I'm going to do for those of you who are watching, so this is truemedia.com's website. I'm going to put it here in the comments on all 3 platforms. Again, we're on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. So if you guys want to pull this up and look along with us, or bookmark it and check it out later, this is where you can find it. Now, that's not this page. We're right now in the video marketing tab, because I'm assuming it's here somewhere.
Yep. So scroll down and a little bit more. So that with the blue banner behind it,
right here.
That probably is the updated version. Yeah, there we go. So 45.
So, yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna take this and just put this on the LinkedIn page.
Cool.
So if you're not on LinkedIn and you want to find this one, you can either go to the page that I just put up on all 3, which is the main site. Go to the video marketing tab and then scroll down, or you could just click on this and scroll down if you're on LinkedIn, because most of our viewers will come from.
So I want to say something about this, because I think as I'm kind of thinking this through, this is kind of funny, right? Over the years, I've created different, lead magnets. Obviously, some of them are to get people in a funnel. I'm not, ashamed of that or whatever. And
no, why would you be?
I don't send out as much as I could, but most companies don't have anything out there.
No, they need to. They need to. That's actually
all these fishing lines in the water, and you just don't know what's going to get a nibble and what's not, and all that. Whereas most companies, they don't have any they have maybe their trade show fishing lure. Well,
again, this is strategy. This is where you and I are working together with our clients that fit us, but in a similar way. It's like, look, and I 100% agree with you. If you don't have, even if we go to Bowman Digital Media, which I'm just going to show you an example of mine real quick. So I'm doing a photo contest.
Nice.
And what I'm doing is I'm giving away 1 free photography session. If you apply, all you got to do is tell me where you would want to do it and why you should win.
Nice.
Now, what do I get out of it? I don't usually give away all my secrets like this, but I'm gonna tell everybody. Okay, so watch. So here's my landing page. Oh, gotta scroll on the right one. And so basically, photo shoot. This is what I do. All they got to do is fill out this form. Are you in the Los Angeles area? Because obviously I'm not going to travel to Dayton to do this, because that would make it a lot more expensive for me, right? I'm willing to do commercial or personal. And why do you want to win? Answer that. Now, why do I do this, right? It's the same reason that we're doing this over here. But Jeff is calling a lead magnet. If you're not familiar with that term, we're hoping to get your data, your name, your company, your title. We want your email address, obviously, your phone number. Why do we want that stuff? Because then we can drip campaign. I mean, honestly, we can call you and say, hey, noticed you filled out a form on our page. Anything we can help you with? I mean, right. It's not like to spam you per se, right. But it's to, to build out our Rolodex, if you will. Right. To build out our contact record management or our ERP, whatever reason. I use HubSpot, full disclosure. So, right, everybody's got one, Salesforce, whatever you're using. Right. But that's what we want. That's what we get out of it. What do you get out of it? Lead magnet. We're giving you something. Mm-hmm. There's a hook there. The bait is, I'll give you 45 strategies on how to do video. You know what I mean? A type of a video. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. So, well, and I like I love sales, but I love selling by serving. So yeah. When
the servant's heart, I can tell.
Once we get
all the buzzwords, I know your heart is to serve.
Yeah,
kindred spirits that way. So I get it.
So once I talk to the companies I work with, I'm like, okay, once you get that lead from a video or a form or whatever, don't go in for the kill. Don't say, hey, buy our stuff. Like, give more value.
Build a relationship.
Exactly.
You want to grow your social media? It's the same thing, dude. If I connect with you, why did I say at the beginning? Tell Jeff you found him, you saw him here on my show, and you're not going to spam him as soon as he hits the connection request, right? Except because that's what most of you are doing wrong. You think that's marketing, and that's not. That's bad sales. That's what that is. It's bad sales. You burn so many more bridges than you Like, yeah, maybe one part per thousand, you got somebody that was interested, but you just killed 999. You're ruining your reputation. So instead, what you do is the same thing, Jeff, you're just about to say. Don't go in for the kill means don't send them a high pressure tactic, spam message. What you want to do instead is build a relationship, because people want to do business with people that they know and they like. They don't like you yet. They know you, but they don't like you. Get them to like you. Serving people, helping people, adding value, all those things. That is sales and marketing combined, but it's effective, highly effective. Yeah. You don't even need a bunch. You don't even need a bunch. If you do that well, you could have something that's not even optimized properly, but you're getting a trickle response, but you're trading all those responses in a smart way, building a relationship with those folks. Then you can pretty much do no wrong. Right? As long as you're professional, you're good at what you do, and you have integrity. You know what I mean? If all those things are true, and when you get those leads coming in, you don't spam them, boom, you got some gold there. The data is the gold, only if you know what to do with it.
Yeah.
All right, I stepped all over your answer. I'm sorry.
No, man, that's good. We're on the same page. So
you got me excited, but I love it because I know that you and I think alike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which actually, it doesn't surprise me, because most successful people in this field, we tend to think like the ones that don't are usually the ones that go out of business. Sorry, I had a little frog in my throat there. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so you're working with your client prospect. You've identified their avatar, if you will, their target audience. You've identified a headache. In this case, a video that needs to be created, but maybe different than what they thought. And so now let's take it to that next level. What happens next in the process? Then you go back for quoting, or do you got to do some research on them, or do you give them homework, or maybe all three? I don't know.
Yeah. So typically once we kind of clearly define the project, I'll work up a proposal, whatever. And I typically do like a good, better, best, so
yeah,
because some companies,
it's smart. They got pain point and they've got budget.
Yeah. So, yeah. Because some companies' budget is the biggest concern. Others, they want,
because Coke doesn't care how much it costs. They're looking for a certain result.
They want the result. Exactly. So, and obviously, budget does come into play at some point, of course, but the result is what they're looking for, which is why they're hiring, an experienced company like mine.
Mariella's got jokes over here. She says, "Have you ever come across a client who doesn't listen and just wants to do everything your way?"
Oh, never.
Yeah, that never happens. But actually, I'm going to tell you, those aren't my clients. Those are and so I'm sure you do it too. I do these consultations, and people think they're interviewing me, and in fact, I'm interviewing them.
Yeah.
Because if we do not fit, if I feel like at the end of this conversation, like you and I are we're going to go at it, and every time I see something from you, it's going to grate me, I just back away.
Yeah.
And I tell them, you know what? I don't think I can help you. And then I can give them a referral to somebody I think they'll fit them better, because there's lots of different personalities in marketing. Trust me. But yeah, not from a client. I don't know about you. I get the attitude. I just don't get it from my clients.
I've had a couple of those, not a whole lot. I try to.
They sneak through the gate. They sneak through the gate.
Right. Yeah, they do. Yeah. Occasionally. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I know that they have an expertise that I don't have. Like, they have an inside knowledge on their products, services.
100%. Yeah. They're experts at manufacturing something.
Yeah. So we're kind of working together to like improve everything, meaning the project that they thought they wanted going in hopefully is much better at the end, because we've both improved the process. But
that's actually for me.
Sometimes they don't maybe take wisdom or whatever. And it's like, okay, I've given you my recommendation based on, almost 20 years of experience and research and learning and all that. But if you want to do it this way, we can.
Yeah. Well, they're always the customer. They're not always right, but they are the customer.
Right.
I've had this experience recently, and actually it's the biggest punch in the gut that I deal with. It's more than this one, Mariella, about the client who doesn't listen, because again, usually I'm pretty good about figuring out that beforehand. But because why are you hiring me? If you know everything, I'm bringing what I'm doing for you. You could go to Fiverr. If you already know what you need, you could find somebody out there in the world to do it cheaper. Part of the reason you hire me is because I know how to not only create the product, but I know how to deliver the product, and I even know what you need in the first place. That's what you're bringing me in for, especially the people. Again, if you look at who I deal with, this is where we differ a little bit, because I'm dealing with usually these business owners that don't have any marketing experience. They're like, they know how to make something, or they have a service that they offer, but marketing is not in their vocabulary, really.
Right.
So the biggest problem for me, and you may not deal with this, again, because we do have a little bit of a different audience. Like, for example, I just did a GIF. I brought a logo to life. So the client has a couple different components in their logo. And usually when that's the case, I'll focus on one element, and that will be the main thing it goes in motion. Graphic informational format is what GIF stands for, guys, if you're watching and you're not familiar with this, right? So I'm just taking something that's still and making it move. Now, we had a consultation. We talked about it. They wanted all three moving. Okay, I usually just do one, but let's do all three. That's fine. And I'm going to bring in sound. So I made it an MP4 so that I could have sound with it for like video intros and stuff. Problem was, when they saw it after I delivered the final product, they had the same thought that I had in the meeting. It's too much. So I was like, well, we need to go back and dumb it down. And I'm like, do you know how much work that was? Like, let me just tell you guys who don't know, at 30 frames a second, if you're dealing with 8 seconds, that's how many frames it is. And then each element is moving. So you could have an element move, the whole time, which I don't usually do. But I have, there could be 1,000 different pieces.
Right.
And so when you start talking about 8 seconds of video, just to make it, simple for everybody, it's a lot of work. So that's sometimes my problem. My biggest problem, frankly, is getting people when we're in concept, then we get the order, and then to the final delivery. There's sometimes, I didn't realize that's what that meant. So now what I'm trying to do to like problem solve that, Jeff, is I'm trying to show them examples of other things I've done and go, do you mean like this?
Right.
Do you mean like this? You know what I mean? Which is helpful.
It's hard, right? Like the client doesn't always know what they want or how to get it. They don't know the amount of work, right?
Yeah.
So it's challenging, and I try to show as much grace and leniency with clients, it's rare that I kind of have to put my foot down and be like, okay, I'm sorry. That like we've kind of come to the edge of where,
this is no longer reasonable. This is no longer reasonable. Right.
Yeah. I try to help them along the way. So it's never this, all of a sudden we're done. Like, I want to let them know, like, hey, just so you know, your package includes X, Y, Z. If you want more, I'm happy to do that, but it'll be a phase 2 project. It'll be, extra whatever. And so, like I said, I try not to get to that aggravating point where we're both kind of annoyed. But it can happen. It's a creative space.
So sometimes I'll say, like, look, I'm happy to redo this. I normally would charge X amount. How about we do something? And usually when people, they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
That comes with doing that interview ahead of time, trying to make sure that you guys are on the same page. Because I tell people all the time, there is no one job out there, one project that I'm going to retire from. So I need more work. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to not only use me again, I want you to go tell all your friends that, hey, you need somebody, you should use Ira. Like, that's the goal. Okay. So what is the biggest, for you guys, like in your space, the biggest issue that you face right now, and you're still maybe trying to figure like, okay, this is, we know it's going here. We haven't quite figured out, like, so for me, like I just shared one of mine. It's probably my biggest frustration is just like getting the client to understand, because I'm dealing with people from a different genre completely. I'm not dealing with marketing folks. I'm dealing with, like I said, usually they're like a plumber or a real estate agent or an accountant or whatever. They don't know, man. Like, GIF, what's the difference between a GIF and an MP4? I have no idea. Like, I just want it to be pretty and I want it to sound cool. So, like, what's your biggest challenge?
As far as what the clients have, or
no, I mean, it could be anything. You could take that any way you want. I mean, obviously marketing related.
So, I'll tell you kind of a brief story. I'll answer the question in a story.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I love stories.
A couple years ago, I was doing some auditing of my company, my products, my services, all that stuff, kind of a 360, like, let's put everything on the table. Let's see what's working, not working. Let's, make some cuts if we need to.
And for everybody, again, he works for True Focus Media. That's his company. So
exactly.
Click on that sucker.
And so I did some, looking back at our video projects or web projects. And on the video side, we've done a lot of company profile videos, company history videos, product promos, again, all inward facing projects. We're the company, we're the best, we've got the people, we've got,
the we
focused. And yeah. And so I was like, okay, let me kind of reverse engineer this. Like, what could I create something that was not even a one and done? Because a lot of those projects are one and done, right? We'd make these big videos and spend weeks and weeks, months and months, and we'd get it done, and we'd give it to them and give them some marketing strategy. But I'd follow up after like 6 months and I'd say, hey, how'd that video turn out for you? And more often than not, it was really good, Jeff. It was good. And I'm like, well, how did it produce anything for you or any stats?
How did it work?
And they're like, well, yeah, I think it's, it's on our website. And I think we did like a social media push one time, or I was like, okay. So I think we need to work on what types of videos we create and a marketing strategy behind it. So I came up with this strategy called Video Valet, which is almost like a video marketing subscription. Mm-hmm. So every month we create video content, and it's based on that buyer's journey. So like, what does a stranger need to know all the way
to that.
A happy customer?
So you send a team out to do a shoot once a month.
So it's not once a month. We batch it. So typically it's a couple times a year.
Oh, I see. But they'll take several different types of video and then cut it up and present it once a month. Right?
So we kind of have a roadmap of like month 1 to month 12. Here's what we recommend producing, for them. So that's one aspect that I think is different than what most marketing companies are doing, because or companies in general, it's just, we need our product video, our service video, and our company bio video, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, people aren't searching for how long you've been in business. They're searching for their problem. So we create this video content. That's step one. Step two is most of the videos have a call to action at the end that's very specific. And it's not give us a call or buy our stuff. It's, hey, if you like this content, we have a free download for, more information with spec sheet, white paper, whatever. So it's hey, if you like this content, check out the download below. And so now we can build a lead magnet for these manufacturing companies.
Did I say this right in the comments? True Focus Media offers a video valet service where you get new video each month.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. And I haven't heard anybody else talking about that.
Right. So it's a 4-step process. So we create the videos, step one, right? We have the roadmap. Step two is that lead magnet. We have a custom branded video player that has the email sign up right on the video.
Got it. So that's for their websites. Yeah.
Step three is we help them with automated lead follow-ups. So again, most companies want to go in for the sale immediately. It's
right, you gotta rein them back.
Let's give more value. So we help write those emails and things. And then step 4 is distribution. Where all is your ideal customer? So I have 40 plus different places where we can put their emails either once or on an ongoing loop. Every month, maybe we repost it. So one of those is your email signature. Most people 100%. Have a static, boring, never changing email signature. What if every month it was, hey, check out our video of the month, or, I'm trying to think of a good educational blurb, but do you want to learn more about our abrasive, our top abrasive? What I'm babbling here. I can't even think of a good example.
There's all kinds of things. Like I do a once a week event on a platform called Remo, and every week I change out the video that's next to the stage.
Right.
And basically, I just use it for all my marketing stuff. Like, you need a video, you need a photography session, you want a website design, you want a logo design, whatever. and it's there, and I'm advertising without making it like spammy.
Yeah.
So no, I love this, bro. This is super.
Yeah.
This is a great idea. Look, again, if people haven't figured it out, Jeff Long's a smart guy. You know what I mean? So let's recap again for those who maybe didn't see the intro. Jeff Long works for True Focus Media. You're the owner, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So the owner of True Focus Media has been around since 2003. He's been doing marketing even longer than that. But the company's been around since 2003. They're in Dayton, Ohio, is where they're based out of. They work with, let's say, medium manufacturing companies up to $1 billion in revenue.
Well, like
which doesn't seem like medium to me, but it is.
Well, like Cargill and Kroger are each over $100 billion a year, in annual revenue. So not bad, right?
There you go. I would take $100 billion a year.
I know, wouldn't we all?
I'm excited. Okay, my business, Bowman Digital Media, actually launched June 2020, and I'm getting close to billing out or invoicing my $100,000.
Awesome.
So I'm pretty excited by that.
Yeah,
that makes me the most excited about that, honestly, is I've spent $0 in advertising. So
I mean, that's huge, right? I mean, that's huge.
But I'm definitely not schmedium. I'm like,
right,
bootstrapping. Well, anyways,
I put a link in our private chat, I think, of the video page. Or whatever.
It doesn't come up, but I'll pull it and then I'm going to share it.
And we can even do that virtually, meaning if companies aren't in a local, regional area.
Yeah, they can send you the video. They can send you like selfie footage and stuff, and you guys can make it better.
But I would even encourage the viewer, like if you're not in manufacturing, or if you want to do this internally, like just think, what type of video content could we create that's more educational in mind, but then has a lead magnet, has some automation behind it. And then you put it in all the places that your customers are. Another one that is underutilized is like what trade shows, associations, or other type of industry platforms are there?
Yeah, organizations. Yeah, think of your organizations, because I was actually just talking about that with another client. It's like, you've got your regional, architects or contractors or whatever. They've all got chapters in some. Right. You just have to figure out what they are. And if those are your clients, you reach out to the organization and say, look, I know you've got a directory somewhere on a website. How do I get my stuff there?
Right. Well, even a lot of times those associations are looking for content to highlight. Yeah. And so if your videos are not promotional in nature, if they're more educational, then those associations are getting
exactly. That's exactly right. So if you have educational content, they'll distribute it usually for free.
Right.
Plus, they might even invite you to be a speaker at their next event.
Yep.
Which now, again, let's go back to the advice that you said in the beginning, the foundational advice. Identify your 20%. So let's just use contractors as an example. Let's say you've gone through your business and you go, oh, wow, the lion's share of my business is coming from general contractors or subcontractors. Okay, great. So now we know that's your target. Now, if you identify the markets or the organizations that are catering to them, you reach out to them with these educational videos that you could have True Focus Media create for you if you like, right? Through the Valley service. Now you put those out and you're getting in email distributions, you're getting on their, on their organizational's webpage, but also if they start reaching out to you as a presenter, Yahtzee.
Right.
Because now you get to meet people at their social events where you are being highlighted as the expert in something that they don't know how to do.
Yep.
Right. And so they like, why wouldn't I use you?
I have seen that strategy alone pour gasoline on the marketing fire. I mean, it just.
I usually say kerosene, but there you go. Yeah, baby. Come on.
You can tell which I played with as a kid.
It's fuel on the fire. Let's go. Yeah.
So, for instance, realtors. Like, I don't really work with realtors, but there's hundreds, if not thousands, of realtors in any given market. Yeah. What if a realtor was creating educational, helpful content?
Yeah, how to buy a home, how to sell a home more effectively. Before you even list your home, you should do this, 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 and this. And then you become the brand expert.
Right, right.
You don't think you're going to get business out of that? You're crazy.
It's helping. It's educating.
Right. And it's not about you. It's about them. Again, you've identified a pain point. Again, think about that video. If you're a real estate agent or a realtor watching this, and I do have plenty of those in my network, especially on Facebook, how do people pick what real estate agent to list with? Because everybody's got 3 or 4 relatives, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You don't necessarily want to sell with them, right? You want to sell your home fast. You want to get top dollar, and you want no headaches. In other words, you don't want the deal to fall apart halfway through. How do you do that? Well, if you have been doing it for 20 years, like Jeff Long's been in marketing for 20 plus years, right? Well, one of the reasons why you would go with Jeff is because he's got all this experience, but you got to show them the experience in a way that they care about.
Right.
They don't care about that Jeff Long graduated with a marketing degree from some blah, blah school. And he's been doing it for blah, blah companies. They don't care. What headaches do you help? Can you help me sell my house quickly? Can you help me get top dollar? Can you help the deal not to fall apart before we even enter this contract negotiation? I'm wasting time with the deal where they're going to come back with 17 things.
Yep.
You know, there are ways, obviously, as real estate agents, as you guys know that are watching, to help minimize or mitigate, you know, those risks. You just got to get people to see it. A video is a way that most people like to consume content. And if you're not comfortable creating it, you can hire people to help you. And you can do selfie videos, by the way. I have clients who send me selfie videos all the time. I take it, I chop it up, I add in flying graphics, PNG overlays, I add an intro and outro, add in some music undertones, and boom, you got this nice, it looks like they spent $1 million on something they spent a few $100 on. So.
Right. Yep. And that's the beauty. That's what I do love about using your smartphone or using some of these tools that are free, or like it gets you further faster.
Let me give people a tip.
What's that?
I'm going to give everybody a tip. Okay. Stop shooting your videos like this. Shoot your videos like this. Jeff knows what I'm talking about.
I always tell people, hold it like you see your TV, right? Your TV landscape. So match up your phone.
Hold it like this, you're going to get those annoying little things at the side, or we have to chop it. And we don't want to chop. We don't want to chop it, right? Because if you're not a professional videographer, which most people are not, you don't know how to do it like this and have it the ratio correct. Right. Now I can show you some tips with some tape on your screen, but let's just go the easy route and flip that bad boy sideways. You might want to hold it so that the camera's actually up, not down. But anyways, I digress. Hold it this way for me, and when you send us the videos, we can make them much more beautiful. So many people look at me like, I never thought of that. I'm like, I know, but okay, it's not your job, right? Well, we're gonna improve your marketing just by doing it, some simple stuff like that. Right. All right, Jeff, let me do this. Let me give you just a couple minutes to parting tips, advice, anything like that. I appreciate you coming on. I just want to make sure that I get time.
So I love to teach. Both my parents are teachers, so I'm just gonna teach here for a minute or two.
All right? So,
a couple tips on if you want to do video yourself, right, with your phone or webcam, whatever. So 3 things. First of all, lighting needs to be at least decent. Okay. Yes. So I actually have some lighting here. I've kind of built my office, you know.
Is that not good? No.
It looks like you're glowing. That's
sorry. I'm kind of a smarty pants.
So, either add light, you know, obviously bring in a lamp, bring in a whatever, or
I have 15 lights. Just a full disclosure, I have 15 lights around me. Okay, I can change my lighting with 15 different yellow lights, white lights. So get yourself LED lights. Don't forget the traditional luminescent bulbs, I think is what they're called. But anyways, yellow lights, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So just good lighting, whether that's from the sun or from, you know, lights. If it is from the sun, just make sure you can control it, you know, a shade, because obviously sun is either cloudy or sunny or cloudy or sunny.
A ball cap.
Nice. So that's step number 1 is lighting. Number 2 is audio. Make sure your audio is good. So even if you're using a webcam, and I mean, which I am, I have this Audio Technica HTR 2100. I think it was maybe $50 before COVID. Now it's probably $100 because those things are.
You can get this. So this one's by Mono.
Nice.
And MAONO. You can get this for $69. Nice. Comes with the arm and it's portable. So you can take it out or you can have it built in. Most of my clients I'm recommending right now, Blue Yeti, if you have $129 because they're awesome.
Right. Yeah. So
It's
audio is important, right? If we can't hear you, or if you're way far away, you know, because the microphone's 5 feet away, it just doesn't sound as good. And then the third tip is whether you're using a webcam like I'm using, or you're somewhere else using a smartphone, like have the camera be eye level.
Yep.
You know, I've seen so many people use their laptop and they're like looking down at the camera and or having a weird.
Nobody wants to look up your nostrils.
Right.
So I actually tell people to put it just a little bit above their eye level and aim it down so that look, we don't want to look at your chin. We don't want to look at your, you know, if you got stuff on your beard or up your nose, God forbid you have a Klingon.
Exactly. So just be aware. There's a podcast I listened to probably 10 years ago or now, whatever. And his favorite quote was, marketing is everything and everything is marketing, right? Yeah. So if stuff just looks crappy, whether it's your business card to your videos, to your website, like it all reflects on your company, your products, your services, even you. So, and I'm not trying to like sell stuff. I'm just like, just spend a couple minutes improving your video quality.
No, 100%. So let's take it a little bit farther because those are foundational tips. But I want you guys to look behind Jeff Long right now. It's nice and clean. It's professional. It represents a certain professionalism.
Yep.
Right now, I have a drop cloth.
I love it
because again, I'm a photographer, right? So I already have all this stuff. So you know, when I go to photography sessions, I break this down and I go set up, you know, and I'm setting up drapes. So I've got the green screen and the white screen and the black screen and the blue screen, right? I've got different colors for that. But the reason why I have it up here, now I'm utilizing this to help put my name out there, step and repeat. And you guys can get one of these. I think this was $250. Not expensive, okay? Get it printed on polyester so you get the wrinkle-free cloth. You know, you can wash it if you need to and all that stuff. So there's my advice. But if you have a messy background, and that's why I have this up. Now, I share an office. My wife isn't in here anymore, but she sits right over here. And she sells Scentsy. If you're watching my Friday night show, you know, because we actually talk about Scentsy in every episode. But behind me, in full disclosure, like if you were to walk in the physical room, there is a product shelf that runs wall to wall. And when we first moved in here, I didn't have the backdrop. And it looked messy. I didn't like the way it looks. It's not messy. It just had that messy look because the products were so far behind me. Anyway, so think about your background. I'm not a huge fan. I don't know if you are, Jeff. I don't like the virtual backgrounds. I'm just going to be honest. Now, you know, I shoot green screen when I'm making videos and I add the graphics behind it. That I'm fine with. But it seems like everybody has a problem with their hair or their head moves or when your chair, like it has troubles. And I just don't think it's professional.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't propose those. But
it's one of those, like, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Right. So I just want you guys to think about that. And usually people are too embarrassed to tell you that it's not professional. They just go with it.
Yeah. Right? And it's hard with COVID. Like I have a client where because of COVID, they were all, you know, virtual, working in their own offices and whatnot. Well, one guy, for whatever reason, was in his bedroom, but you could see like the dresser drawer behind him and the bed. And I'm like, no judgment here, but it just, you know, if marketing is everything and everything is marketing, it reflects.
No, it's not the appearance that you want to put off.
Right.
Now imagine this, okay? Let's take it one step uncomfortable just so people can get the idea. You're a guy, you're meeting with a prospect who happens to be a girl, maybe she's even a little bit younger than you, and now you've got your bedroom in the shot. You think that's the impression that you want to create?
Just a little creepy.
Probably creepy, right? 100%. So anyways, that's our Marketing Monday show. Now, if for some reason you didn't catch this whole episode, or more likely you love this episode, you want to watch it again, because we delivered some good tips here, right? Mostly video, but we talked about how to identify your customer, how to handle your lead magnets, what you should be doing with your websites and your content, how you can get more great content, You can actually go and get a lead magnet that Jeff Long's got right now with 45 different ideas on videos that you can make. So if you're like, I want to make videos, I don't even know how to make videos, I don't know what to make a video about, you can get that. So anyways, check this episode out. We are going to be permanently bowmandigitalmedia.com/marketing Mondays. Jeff Long's episode will be there. I have a blog as well. So if you want to read the transcript, because you didn't understand what we were saying, and I don't have the closed captions on Facebook and YouTube. I do have it on LinkedIn. Okay. But if you want to read it, go to my blog and it'll be there too. And then if you want to listen on Spotify while you work out or while you're driving, check us out on Spotify as well. Jeff Long, you are the owner of True Focus Media. People can find you at truefocusmedia.com. They can also find you on LinkedIn. I request this favor, folks. If you're watching the show and you want to reach out to Jeff Long and connect with him, he's a great guy. Just send him a message to let him know that you saw him on Ira's show, Marketing Mondays, and promise him, and then I expect you to live up to it now, that you will not spam him the minute he hits that accept button. Okay? Jeff, thank you so much. I apologize we went a little bit over, but
this has been fun. I love it. I could talk a long time. So it's been good just to kind of hang out with you, talk with you, and ask questions, and hopefully help some people, with ideas.
Yeah, I think if people are paying attention to the suggestions, it'll help just about everybody.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very much. We'll see you guys all next time. Thank you for joining us here on Marketing Mondays with Ira Bowman. Join the same time on Monday next week. We start at 11 a.m. Pacific. That's 12 p.m. Eastern. Have a great day, everybody. bowmandigitalmedia.com.